So I recorded this video once already. There's me looking disappointed. I don't know it yet, but the entire 30 minutes I recorded is ruined by a buzzing sound that is there. I assume because the microphone wasn't plugged in perfectly all the way in. So here I am recording this again. Everything's good though. Everything's good. In fact, this is something I've never done before. I am filming myself editing this very video. This save file update January 2020 is going to be what this video footage is on. So weird. Anyway, I am going to not have access to my studio or this editing rig for a long time, and because of that I'm going to have a bunch of videos on the road that I will record with my phone most likely. I will have this camera with me, but I don't know how much I can use it, especially if this laptop here doesn't have any editing software. I originally planned to stick this on there, which is now $50 software, but the problem is that this laptop does not have a disk drive, so I can't pop this in there. Right here is a disk drive, but it is by Apple, and this is not an Apple, so they do not get along. The computer recognizes that there's an Apple product plugged into it, which may be the problem, because I know they don't like to get along a lot of the times. But whenever I try to put this in the disk drive isn't awake enough to go, oh, wah, and accept it. So I don't know what I'm going to do there. This software digitally is like $50 now. This is Movie Studio 13. I can get another copy of that, which is annoying though. Just what I'm using right here is 15, and I think 16 or 17 is the latest one that's out right now. I know it's trying to get me to buy something. Every time I log into it, it's like, hey, $50 for the latest software to upgrade this one. And that's the tricky thing, that $50 can upgrade this. I'm not sure if I can take that thing that I purchased for $50 and stick it on this laptop. If I can, it may be the only copy I have. So I'll have 15 on here and 16 on here, which would be kind of annoying because this laptop was just what I had for school, because it is the school laptop basically. It's mine, but it came with the purchase of school, whatever it's called. So I have this laptop now that I can take places, but I can't edit videos on. Which isn't a surprise. It's not video editing school, it's automotive school. Speaking of, I graduated and I was on the dean's list. I was one day off of getting president's list because I have a 4.0 GPA, perfect GPA, 99 point something % attendance. I missed one day, and it was unexcused because I didn't want to pay whatever copay it was to get a doctor's note. I knew I was sick. The best thing I could do for myself would be just to stay in bed, and that's what I did. And I actually would have missed 2 days, but the second day was snow day, which is nice, but I still missed that one day, and because of that I was knocked down one rung. It's whatever. It would have been nice on a resume, but I feel like if I put Dean's List and 4.0 GPA, it kind of speaks for itself. My attendance was good enough to get on Dean's List, but I also had perfect GPA. But I digress. Why is editing videos on the road important? Well, this is what I have for my schedule. You may notice there's a lot of months here. I have planned out quite a lot ahead. That's not how that's said. Anyway, I actually have planned ahead a lot. December, I think all of December was all scheduled out ahead of time. I went to Florida during some of December, so I had a bunch of videos backlogged there, and all the stuff that you saw was like recorded in early November, maybe even October. That might be a little too early. Anyway, on top of that, a lot of this stuff is still from 2019. A lot of it's from early December. This one, I'm really looking forward to this video on February 1st. That one I've been planning for a long time, maybe 2 years. Planning is a loose term because it was basically just a title in my ideas section of my phone, and I really only started writing the script like 6 months ago, but still, that's like I've been planning it for a long time, and it's finally come together. It's not like a video masterpiece. It is 10 minutes, which is kind of short. It's like average for most YouTube videos, I guess, but for this channel it's kind of long. I was expecting it to be maybe 20 minutes because when I recorded all the audio for it, it was 30 minutes, and I was like, I know I have to chop some audio down to get rid of the silences between takes and the few like double or triple takes that I did. But it went down to like just over 10 minutes, and I was surprised at that. But I think it's a good video. The topic is interesting. Nobody has made a video on that topic in like a well-researched way at all on YouTube as far as I've checked. When researching that, I definitely went to YouTube looking for sources, and as far as I remember, there weren't any sources to speak of on there. But yeah, that's 2020 was when I finally put that together. 2019, 2019, 2019, 2019. This, I haven't recorded anything for April 1st. I likely am going to be too busy to record anything because that's an extra day. And then onboard diagnostics, you may notice there's a big gap, not a big gap, but there's a gap every other video, and that's because I've only been able to record and edit this many videos, and I'm going to have to fill in the gaps during my time away from the studio. This right here, this is the video that you're watching right now. Then this comes out, I'll have to record something here. I have to record 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 videos, and then that. I think I have something for that, but I don't remember. But this is basically me planning out the vacation and wedding time, so this is probably the biggest break I'm going to get until I retire, so who knows. I'm gonna try to take advantage of my time off. I do enjoy making videos. I'm not like pushing myself beyond my limit to make stuff, so you may notice that this gap allows me to have a video every other week if I decide I'm not making anything. There's plenty of stuff I can film while I'm in Florida, and there's going to be a bunch of other states that I'm going to be in. I'm going to see if I can record there. I'm going to the Peterson Automotive Museum, which from what I can tell from Instagram is probably one of the most interesting automotive museums in the world. Pretty much if there's a car that has been famous ever, it's probably on display or like in their vault. I don't know if they have a vault, but they've got a whole bunch of cool cars there. So many cool cars. And if they allow video footage in there, you bet I'm going to be recording. But yeah, the Crosstrek is going to need brakes soon. I need to film that. The dome lights for the back of the Crosstrek I need to do. Might do license plate bulbs, though I had some kind of special idea planned. I don't know. I'll figure it out. Anyway, I also have a few other cars I can do oil changes on. I might even do the first carbureted car in the channel's history. I have worked on carbureted stuff before. Not a whole lot, but I'm not a carburetor tuning expert, but I understand the basic principles of how they work and how to adjust them. So if need be, I'll work on that. It's been sitting around for so long, I don't know if it's going to run, but we'll put in a good effort. That vehicle probably needs every filter and every fluid in it changed, so we'll see what becomes of that. I know there's probably like 4 or 5 other vehicles I can do work on, so no lack of content sources, just recording and making the edits happen is going to be the tricky part. Recording not so much, just the edits is the big tricky part that is going to hold me back, I think. You know what's an awesome thing to do when you're about to leave your studio for a long time, though? buying equipment for it. I bought some lights and they aren't even perfect, but I'm going to keep them. Here's what happened with that. Alright, so this is the type of bulb that came with the lighting. This was my first upgrade, and this is my latest upgrade. Now those first upgrade bulbs are going to be the main bulbs in the room, and the main upgrade bulbs are obviously in the fill lights. I do notice that this does have, like, I move up and down, and there's like a stripe pattern that just follows the camera rather than the physical object, and that is a pulse width modulation problem. But when I aim it at the green screen, the first time I checked it, it was not visible, but now it is definitely visible. Depends on how the pulse widths sync up. Like right now it's not a problem. That one you can see it. If you've ever seen a car review of a new car that has LEDs in the headlights or daytime running lights, you may notice that it has like a strobe effect. That's pulse width modulation, a way of turning LEDs on and off so fast that the human observer, not a camera, will see it as just on, whereas the camera, because there's a frame rate to it and a shutter speed on some cameras and a scan speed on the sensor that picks up the light, it will read on and off as opposed to just the blending of the ons and offs. So what you see on camera is a strobe effect, but everyone there watching the car go just sees the light on. Another thing is if it's like a 50% pulse width modulation, so 50% on, 50% off, the light on is actually twice as bright, about twice as bright as what you see when you just see it going, because it's 50% on, 50% off. So the average between that is like 50% of the on time, or the on brightness, I mean, and that's what you end up seeing. Now, cameras will see the flicker on and off, especially with stuff that matches the frame rate or is close to the frame rate. And if it's really high speed, then you get these lines going across the screen, which is what the problem was with this bulb that I bought. Alright, I put the latest upgrade bulb in the ceiling and the first upgrade bulb in the fill light, and this is what we end up with. So I can't use them in the fill lights that I bought them for, but I'll use the original bulbs in the fill lights. Well, not the original, the LED ones that I bought the first upgrade for in those fill lights, with the new lights up in the ceiling to light the whole room, and that really dampens that strobe line effect. And I believe when you when you chroma key out the green screen, you won't see that effect at all. So we'll give it a try in a while, in a long time from now. But yeah, basically one way or another, videos are going to come out. They may not be as often as I wish they would. I know YouTube is going to punish the channel for not uploading on the schedule as often as it used to, but I've been there before, willing to let it go, and I know YouTube pretends like, oh, people that take a break come back and do better than ever. I've taken that break and it didn't happen that way. Anyway, enough of that negativity, I guess. I appreciate you watching all the way through. If you have any questions, I can elaborate on anything that I didn't get into enough detail on, if that is even a thing. But let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if you even got this far. That would be great to know, because I don't think a lot of people usually watch to the end of these videos. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next Car Simplified video.